All right, let's dive in. Today we're breaking down a weekend that is absolutely set to make sports entertainment history, SummerSlam 2025. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with one simple but totally game-changing number.
That's right, 2. For the very first time in its 38-year history, SummerSlam is a massive 2-night stadium show. I mean, that's something that's always been reserved for WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. Until now.
So yeah, this is way more than just another wrestling event. This is a huge signal of a new era. We're talking about a monumental weekend that's going to combine legendary farewells, huge championship clashes, and major pop culture crossovers on a scale we have just never seen from the biggest party of the summer.
And you know, this return is just dripping with legacy. SummerSlam has such a deep history in the New Jersey area. We saw those iconic events back in '89, '97, and '07. But this 2025 show at MetLife Stadium, this isn't just some homecoming. It's a complete reinvention of what SummerSlam can be.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What exactly makes this event so unbelievably significant? We're talking about a weekend that is just jam-packed with firsts, lasts, and major milestones.
I mean, just look at this list. The milestones are absolutely staggering. Yeah, it's the 38th SummerSlam, but it's the first one ever over 2 nights. The first to stream on Netflix for fans around the world. It's the final SummerSlam for an all-time great, John Cena. Oh, and it's all hosted by Cardi B. Any one of those would be a huge deal, but all of them together, it makes this event truly monumental.
And you know, out of all those huge headlines, there's one that's really the heart and soul of this entire weekend. This isn't just another main event. This is a story that's been decades in the making, where a legend's final chapter is about to collide with someone's desperate quest for redemption.
Man, the stakes here are just astronomical. For both guys, you've got John Cena in his last ever SummerSlam, chasing that record-shattering 17th world title to put the ultimate cap on his career. And facing him is Cody Rhodes, who's absolutely desperate to get back the championship that Cena took from him. And to make sure there's a winner, no questions asked, it's a street fight. No rules, no excuses, just a war.
And this isn't some random match they just threw together. Oh no, this is a deeply personal rematch. It all goes back to a super controversial finish at WrestleMania, a loss that has just been eating Cody Rhodes alive, and a win that kicked off this final historic run for Cena. At SummerSlam, they settle the score for good.
But look, this weekend is absolutely not just a one-match show. Far from it. The whole card is stacked with champions whose dominant reigns are about to face their biggest threats yet from some really determined, really hungry challengers.
And we've got 2 matchups that really tell that story perfectly, with huge implications for pretty much the entire company. So first up, for the World Heavyweight Championship, you've got the dominant, seemingly unbeatable Gunther, and he's defending against CM Punk, who is literally living the ultimate comeback story. And then, for the WWE Women's title, the champ, Tiffany Stratton, has to go up against the undefeated 2025 Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill, who's clawing for her first ever world title. I mean, what incredible stories clashing right there.
And then, just to throw a massive wrench into everything, you've got this. Total chaos for the Women's World Championship. A triple threat match. The champion Naomi has to somehow survive against 2 of the baddest women on the planet, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, at the same time. The craziest part? She doesn't even have to be the one pinned to lose her title. It's just wildly unpredictable.
And if you thought the stakes couldn't get any higher, think again. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, it is a last chance match. This means if Becky Lynch wins, her opponent, Lyra Valkyria, can never, ever challenge for that title again. You throw in no disqualification rules, and you have got a recipe for an absolutely desperate, brutal war. Okay, let's switch gears for a second, because SummerSlam isn't just about championship gold. This is where you get these deep, personal hatreds, a sprawling family civil war, and A-list celebrity involvement all smashing into each other. We have to talk about the bloodline. It's maybe the most dominant story we've seen in years, and it's continuing its violent civil war. The story's simple, but it's brutal. Solo Sikoa turned his back on his family. Now, his cousin Jacob Fatu is out for revenge, And there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, because they are settling this for the U.S. title inside a 15-foot-high steel cage.
And that family drama, it doesn't just stop there. It spills over into another huge tag team match. You've got former arch-rivals Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, who now have to team up again to represent the family. And they're facing two absolute wrecking machines, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. It's just a perfect example of how this one story is shaping an entire generation.
So what happens when you throw a Grammy winner and one of the biggest YouTube stars on the planet into a WWE ring? Is that even a thing? Well, yes. Yes, it is.
Well, it is a thing. You've got the legend Randy Orton teaming up with the Grammy-winning musician Jelly Roll, making his in-ring debut, by the way, against the super bitter Drew McIntyre and the social media lightning rod Logan Paul. This is just pure sports entertainment spectacle, born from a rivalry that actually blew up on late-night TV.
Okay, wow. So with all of that on the line, you're probably wondering, how in the world do I watch this? Let's get right to the practical stuff.
And believe me, plenty of people are going to be watching. Just to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this thing, think about this number. $80 million. That's the expected economic boom this event is going to bring to the New Jersey area alone. This is not just a show, it's a massive cultural and economic event. All right, so here's everything you need to know. Get your calendars out. It's Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd, live from MetLife Stadium. Both nights are going to kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you're in the US, you're watching on Peacock. For most of you watching internationally, it's going to be on Netflix for the first time ever. And yeah, it's also available on traditional pay-per-view and even in some movie theaters.
And that really brings us to the biggest question of all, the one that kind of hangs over this entire historic weekend. When all the dust settles after 2 nights of chaos and celebration and career-changing moments, what's the lasting image of SummerSlam 2025 going to be? Will it be the final, triumphant salute from a legend? Or are we going to witness the definitive dawn of a brand new era? I guess the only way to find out is to watch. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.